Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another Marvel Rivals video. Now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about Jeff the Landshark in Marvel Rivals. Now, I've seen a lot of people, they've been losing their minds over, Jeff the Shark, being nerfed. And, at first, I thought, it might not be too bad, it could be very good. But then, when I looked at the changes and, when I started comparing it to the original, it is kind of worrying. I read the part where, they're going to make Jeff to have, three burst fires. So basically, only like right click 3 times and then reload. And I think before it was around like 15 bursts, I think, and his bubbles also have been nerfed around. I mean, before it was around 6, but now it's around 3, which is very worrying for Jeff mains. I mean, I don't main Jeff, but I do love playing with a good Jeff. There's a lot of good players that main Jeff, and I really do love playing with a good Jeff, because I mean, like if you're playing as a third healer as Jeff, he's very OP. Like he's so good at flanking. He can DPS as well. But I feel like this might change, in the next season, which is coming out in a few days, and he's no longer going to be that DPS flanker that we all know and love, right? So I mean, I personally think they should revert back the changes. Well, at least increase the bubbles to like to 6. I think it was around 6. Bubbles before, but now it's going to be 3. So like his healing isn't going to be like his self healing might not be that good. I mean, but I've heard some like positive things about I mean, we've seen some positive things like his splash water is gonna cause damage and not just healing, which is very nice. And his I think his ulti will also speed up, so you will get to swallow all the plays quickly, which is very nice. It does take a while. I mean, I did play a bit of Jeff. I was practicing him in quick play here and there. I played a bit of him in ranked. Mostly I'm just main Rocket. I main Invis and Cloak. A bit of Adam Warlock. Depending if we're going as a third healer. But but recently with Jeff, I've just been practicing him, and it's a bit of a shame because I can't. I'm kind of like losing that motivation, like to not even like try him the next season. But who knows? Maybe like maybe I would like the changes. I mean, like a lot of people are saying he's like he's like a proper healer now. Like he's not a DPS sort of player. Like he's not gonna like you don't have to DPS with Jeff. You can just spam heals, which is quite nice because that's what I did with Rocket. So maybe I like Jeff. Maybe in the next season. But it's quite disappointing because I do want to learn a character that also DPS as well. Not just heals. And Jeff was the perfect choice. Before I was doing that with Adam Warlock, but I didn't really like Adam Warlock's healing ability. It had a cooldown. I was really like looking into Jeff. Trying to like get good with him. I don't know. Maybe like they only nerfed him because they're bringing in Ultron in, and I'm really really excited to use him. Maybe he could be the next flanker, DPS flanker, right? I mean, the guy flies now. I think he can also go on foot as well, and not just flying. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I'm really excited, to see Ultron in. He looks fantastic. We saw the a bit of gameplay. I'm really excited for the new season. But I do feel sorry for a lot of for the Jeff mains out there. I think for us healers, even if us like main of the healers like Loki or Invis or Cloak or Rocket, I think this kind of affects us as well in a bad way because, whenever Jeff, goes as a third healer, like that does changes up the whole game, like it is very, very OP at times. So we might not see that. But again, we have Ultron. Maybe he can fill the role in, right? Like maybe he can like take Jeff's place in. He does play like a DPS. A lot of people, were saying that, whilst they were looking at the new gameplay footage. Who knows? Maybe we will love this Jeff. I mean, I'm not saying this is the best change ever. No, no, I'm not saying that. I do wish they do revert back the changes. We just have to wait and see in the next few days. I'm really excited for the new season. Can't wait to try Ultron. The new map looks really good. I think it's called Roka or something. I think that's what it's called. The only thing I really love about Jeff, in the new season is that he's gonna use his ult quicker, and his splash damage can finally cause damage. Because there was a lot of times where whenever I pick Jeff, I would like left click, and to think I would left click at the enemies, thinking, oh, okay, you know what, I want to cause damage. But no, that's just the healing thing. So I'm really happy that they made that into a damage weapon, a damage thing as well, a damage feature. So like you get to use that, to damage your enemies whilst you're healing your friends. But the bubbles, I'm quite disappointed about that, and the burst fire as well. I thought it wasn't too bad when I first time heard it, but when I compared it, you know, I was like, oh shit, like this one, like this Jeff seems more OP, you know, this season, but next season he's gonna be very weak, you know. So I really hope they do buff it up, you know, how it was before. But then again, if they were to do that, maybe he's gonna be even more OP, like way OP compared to, you know, how he is right now. He is a pretty OP healer and on a DPS flanker as well if you're playing him as a third healer. But look, guys, we're gonna have to wait and see where it goes. But yeah, a lot of people don't seem to be happy about this change. I'm seeing a lot of people on Discord, you know, I think we're gonna have like a lot of healers on strike, you know. I'm seeing, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that, you know, just stop playing, you know, healing for a bit or something. But we'll see. We'll see how he plays. If people are not happy about it, you know, just spread the word. You know, express your feelings, or, you know, towards, you know, like NetEase, and you know, they'll listen. You know, I mean, honestly, NetEase games have been listening to our feedback, you know, from time to time, and you know, surely they should listen to this one. But maybe they want to see like, but first we've got to try the game out. You know, we've got to try the new season out and see how Jeff plays. You know, and the new character Ultron. Maybe everyone would insta lock Ultron. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people were saying, "Hey, dude, you know what? When Ultron comes out, I'm gonna insta lock him." And these guys are DPS players, and you know, Ultron's a healer. So, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna be like, I don't know if he's gonna be like a spammy heal type of a character. Like, I feel like he might be like Adam Warlock, which I'm quite worried about because I feel like Adam Warlock is not a good flanker. He's not a good DPS compared to Jeff. You know, I feel like Jeff was perfect for that. But yeah, we're gonna have to see. Okay, in a few days we'll see how Jeff will play and Ultron, and you know the new content overall, season 2.5. Yeah, I mean I just wanted to make this video, you know, to express my feelings about it. You know, I'm kind of mixed. You know, I'm quite disappointed, but at the same time not. Like I mean I gotta try the character out. You know, Jeff. You know, I've just been practicing recently, so you know, I mean, it doesn't bother me much. You know, like I said, I main Rocket. You know, I main other healers. So, I mean, look, it's not a major loss for me. But for you, Jeff mains out there, I do feel for you. So, I really hope you guys find a way to, you know, to solve this. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I do make a lot of Rivals videos. So if you guys love content like this, yeah, be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.